And I know here we are talking about Marvel and DC Comics, but I know as usual we're always supposed to start off with a wrestling podcast. But this is just pretty much like you said. You like the little geeky, nerdy stuff that we talk about before things like get serious. And if I recall right, I think we should announce to the audience that you just created a second YouTube channel and you just had your very first video.
Yes, I did. My second YouTube channel, Bruce Lira for Life. Shameless plug. But yes, by all means, hit that subscribe button. Shameless plug. And yeah,
Shameless plug?
you don't get it, do you?
Is it Sheamus from WWE?
I said shameless. Shameless.
Nope, nope. I'm not getting anything.
Shameless plug.
Is that
Advertising plug?
nope?
Never mind. Anyways.
I'm sorry. It's just
Yeah,
look. I'm trying to understand you, but I can't. It's just I'm literally trying to figure if it's a reference to a movie or to
it's
wrestling.
not. It's just a thing that people say to plug in either, to help advertise either their YouTube channels or videos or whatever. But yes, I did start up a second YouTube channel, and it's called Bruce Lear for Life. And I just did a review on Man of Steel.
Which
So by all means, if you guys want to check that out, check that out. And yeah, and guys, even though I'm a huge DC fan, I do love Marvel. I do, like I said, Marvel Comics is what got me into comic books to begin with. And my first comic book ever was Ultimate Spider-Man, which was awesome. I love Spider-Man. He's my second favorite superhero ever.
I actually hope to one day review a superhero movie. I just don't know which. I think it might be Wonder Woman 1984 because that movie came out this past December. So that's probably going to be the first superhero movie I will talk about. But I just want to say real quick that I will support you and your YouTube channel as much as you supported me as I'm doing this right now and you being on the channel, which I thank you so much. I couldn't ask for enough about. But also, I even went to Snapchat and Twitter and
And advertise.
even Instagram. Yeah, I advertised your video to get more people to watch it.
Yeah, and do send me the link to this video whenever this gets uploaded, because I need to do that, because I need to do that to my Instagram, to my Snapchat, and also to my Twitter.
I think I might have to teach you how to promote it on social media because I've seen you do it before, but it's not the way I
Yeah.
think it's going to be easy for people to just click on it and just go to it. So after this podcast, I'm going to teach you a few little tricks and stuff.
Cool.
But enough of all that. NXT Takeover New Year's Evil. It is their special episode of NXT, but this is actually Bruce. I don't know if you actually noticed this. This is not the first time New Year's Evil has been in a wrestling company. Have you noticed that?
New Year's Evil?
Yeah, because I looked it up online. It turns out that this was a WCW Monday Nitro episode before NXT.
Oh, wow. I did not know that.
Man,
I'm being serious. I didn't know that.
okay, the way you made it sound like I did not know that. That sounded so dramatic, but I know
I know,
deep
that
in your
was
heart
that's
you
being
really meant
sarcastic.
deep in your heart you really meant that you did not know that.
Yeah, I really didn't. I know it came off as sarcastic, but no, I didn't. I really didn't know that, but that's pretty cool. Who knew? I mean, NXT has been trademarking a lot of WCW things, anyways. Halloween Havoc and War Games. Heck, you never know. Maybe they might advertise it as Thunder at one point. So,
You're gonna eat lightning and you're gonna crab thunder.
Thunder, Thunder, Thundercats, ho!
But yeah, this was actually only used one time in WCW Monday Nitro, and it was all the way back in December of 1999. But I thought that just might be a little fun fact just to give out there to the audience.
That's why.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
sadly, nobody remembers it.
yeah. So it wasn't very common. It wasn't annually. It was like a one-time thing. But it looks like NXT was able to bring it back and make it even more popular.
That's what's up. And
So
it's evil on top of that.
evil. So Bruce, what were your initial thoughts about this episode of NXT?
This was a very, very good show. Very solid. NXT truly, started it off with a bang. I'm really happy with this show. I'm really happy overall. The matches, not all of them hit home run, but most of them were bangers. I got to say, most of them were bangers. Most of them brought it home. It was just a dope show, Although I will admit, I liked AEW's, what was it, New Year's Smash a bit better.
Yeah, New Year's Smash actually hit a home much better than NXT, and I'm not biased towards it. Sure, I might watch AEW before I watch NXT, but that's only because I got political issues with Vince McMahon in the WWE company. But that's one thing. But when it comes to NXT, no, I respect what the show and what Hunter does with the wrestlers and the show in general. So I will support NXT no matter what. But it's just that, um, yeah, NXT was just it was good, don't get me wrong about that, but it just wasn't capable of reaching the same height as what AEW was able to push out. And this is me being non-biased because I'm not biased towards either companies when it comes to that.
And Sean, you know me. I'm a diehard NXT fan. I watch NXT almost every single week. And you know I love WWE period. And for me to say that AEW did a much better job, and for me to actually tip my hat to AEW and say, well done, guys, you did it much better, that's saying something.
I know usually I mean, I wouldn't call you biased, but at the same time, I will admit you will always support NXT before you support AEW, but here you are swallowing your pride and admitting who the better company was for that night.
Yeah, and AEW just did it better. And I'll be honest with you, I want to see more of AEW whenever I get the chance. So if anything, AEW really caught my intrigue once again. Like I said, guys, New Year's Smash was the first time that I saw AEW since late 2019 when the company first started. I think the last time that I saw an AEW show was probably back in November or late October. I don't remember,
But
but
now that's not the case anymore because now you saw New Year Smash, so it's a whole new year for that.
mhm.
So who knows? Maybe in 2021 you might be able to watch more AEW than you think.
Calm down there, cowboy.
I'm just saying.
Hold on a second. Calm down there, cowboy.
Yeah,
Slow your road, partner.
it could be worse. There could be a snake in your boot.
Oh, good lord. There's a snake in my boot.
So yeah, this was obviously a very good show. It was mostly satisfying. I would not say it is the greatest NXT special episode, but there were some hits. There were kind of some misses at times, but not enough to the point where it's like it's a mediocre show because this is still a really good show. It's just yeah, AEW just happened to just do it just a little better. But we'll carry on with that with our very first match of the night, Damian Priest versus Karrion Cross. Bruce, you want to give your initial thoughts on that?
This match was a banger. I'm surprised. These two tall, big guys, because generally, big guy versus big guy matches, whenever they match up, they're not very good. We've seen that time and time again with guys like Big Show and Kane. But these two guys knocked it out of the park. The story that they were able to tell, just the brutality, a series of right hands and kicks, just oh my goodness. This match was dope. I gotta give credit where credit is due. This match was awesome.
And you're not wrong about that. I would say 50% of it was Damian Priest showing off, and the other 50 of it was Karrion Cross showing off. Because at first we saw a lot of offense from Damian Priest. He landed a bunch of hits and kicks, and you're right about two big guys going at it. But I've seen from what I've seen in the past, I've always seen Damian Priest being the dominant one because he's big, he's tall, he's got this very huge physique. But then when you see Karrion Cross going at it, it's like, oh man, now you really got some competition between each other.
Keep in mind, we've seen small guys who are smaller than their opponents in the ring, but somehow they look so much more dominating with the things that they can do.
They really did. And look, I knew Karrion Cross was going to win because look, Damian Priest was already winning matches after matches, but also not just that. Karrion Cross, if I'm right, because you watch more NXT than I do, they've been promoting that Karrion Cross has not lost a match yet. But yet, why would you push Damian Priest to be the one to defeat Karrion Cross if Damian hasn't been doing too good when his other recent losses? So I feel like they were going to make Karrion the one to come out on top, but they weren't going to do it without making sure it was one heck of a fight.
And that's a good thing because, Karrion Cross just came back from an injury and technically he never lost the NXT title. So if anything, if they're going to make him lose, if they're going to make Karrion Cross have a big loss, they better do it like on a grand stage, like on a takeover or something. That's the only way that I think not only will it make him look good, but it'll be shocking to see Karrion Cross, actually lose. So they're building him up as a huge, force to be reckoned with in NXT, and I dig that. Just Karrion Cross has got it where it counts. He's definitely got the athleticism. He's definitely got the move set. He's got everything that he needs to create like an intimidating kind of character, and yeah, I dig him.
I would agree with you on that. Also, I do like the name Karrion Cross, although I prefer Killer Cross, but then again, that sounds too much similar to DC Comics Killer Croc. So
Oh yeah.
I could be wrong on that. Correct me if I'm wrong. If Karrion Cross does sound better, I mean either one is good either way. But in storyline, they really worked on Damian getting injured in the ribs area.
The ribs played a huge factor in this match, and I really like what they did with that. If I'm correct, like I think like Cross got him on the Tree of Woe, and then he kept stomping on the ribs or something.
Yeah, that's what they kept doing the whole time. Even there were times where Damian couldn't be able to lift Karrion because his ribs were hurting pretty badly, which was a good sell by Damian himself.
Yeah, it was very good. He sold that thing like crazy, man.
But here's the thing that concerns me. Because Damian Priest lost, the rumors is that there's a reason that he lost. It wasn't because they were trying to promote Karrion Cross to be, the tough guy, which is true. They're trying to do that, but at the same time, there's rumors speculating that the reason he lost is because he's being pushed up to the main roster. Now, I personally don't think Damian Priest, sure, he is very skilled, he's very talented, and he would dominate the main roster, but because there's so much talent on the main roster already that they haven't used yet, I just feel like it's not time for Damian Priest to just go up to the main roster and just shine because they still haven't pushed Keith Lee. They haven't pushed Sami Zayn to his full potential. They haven't pushed Kevin Owens. Uh they haven't pushed what's her name?
Lacey Evans.
Not Lacey Evans. They haven't pushed Bianca Belair. They haven't pushed Peyton Royce. They haven't pushed any of these wrestlers because Vince doesn't know how to do his job. So the one thing I do not want to see is another NXT potential getting fully wasted on the main roster and becoming a joke.
Yeah, that would be way too soon for him because heck, what they haven't done anything with Matt Riddle.
I'm sorry, because he's Riddle now. He's Riddle. He ain't Matt Riddle, and he eats his bro nuts.
Yeah, they have. I mean, they made him entertaining, but they've made him basically an airhead from,
Bill and
which is
Ted.
supposed to be a take from Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Yeah, but that's the thing about Matt Riddle. His character is not supposed to be an airhead. Although he is a bro and he's laid back and chill, his persona is also an MMA fighter. But I can go on and rant about all that. But this is about Damian Priest. The thing is, I do not want him on the main roster. You do not want him on the main roster because you know for a damn straight fact Vince will murder his career.
Agreed, and he'll just wind up going to AEW.
Pretty much because it's just a safe haven for all the other wrestlers that got screwed over. So we pretty much just saw Karrion Cross kick the shit out of Damian Priest. He pinned him 1, 2, 3. He got the cover, and that was pretty much it. After landing some hard hits and blows, Bruce, what would you rate this match out of 10?
I'm gonna give it an 8.5. I liked it.
Huh, ironic because I actually gave it an 8.5 out of 10 as well.
Hey, all right, we're
Per-
in sync.
Yeah. So now we carry on to our next match tonight, and for goodness sake, for the love of humanity, please push this division even more because they do not get enough credit. I do not know why Triple H is not doing it. Maybe it's because of time consuming, or also maybe it's because of storyline, but I could be wrong. But it's the NXT Cruiserweight Championship on the line with Lucha House Party's Grant Metalik versus the NXT Cruiserweight Champion Santos Escobar.
Okay, I'm gonna get this off my chest. I love the cruiserweights. The cruiserweights are amazing. Why they aren't doing more with them, again, I don't know either. I'm pretty sure it's time constraints, but still, I love Lucha House Party. They're so underrated. Gran Metalik and Lince Dorado can knock it out of the park, dude.
I could say the same thing what you just said right now, but the issue is I think it's because since I've seen only Grand Metalik and Lucha House Party only on the main roster, which they've only put them as jobbers and they don't do really much with them, I really can't take them seriously. And I think that's because the main roster ruined their reputation.
That's understandable. Yeah, because primarily, yes, they have been jobbers, and the one time that they almost got a pushed, it got ruined.
I'm just glad that Grant Metalik had the opportunity to show off a bit more wrestling skills, which I've never seen before from him. He's not the best
Mhm.
cruiserweight in the division. He's not. But he does show heck of potential. And if they do give him more chances, and if he actually practices more on his skills, he could actually be a pretty good use to the cruiserweight division. And Santos Escobar, I like him as a villain. He's got the skills, he's got the looks, he's got it all. But they're just not doing much with him because I don't think I remember the last time, not even the last takeover, I think I saw Santos defend the cruiserweight championship.
That's a shame too because Santos is very good. He's a very good athlete. He's a very good competitor. And heck, if anything, I think they should just leave all the cruiserweights in NXT. Put Lucha House Party in NXT. If anything, let them, mingle with these guys. Let them learn so that way Lince Dorado and Gran Metalik can become better competitors.
Hopefully, and I don't really have a lot of like per se. I don't have a lot of special moments that I have from this match because this wasn't the best match of the night, and it wasn't the worst either. It was good, but it could have been better. But it wasn't great, and I have seen better cruiserweight matches. But for what it was good. It was satisfying, and for that, I'm gonna have to get this rating. I'm just gonna have to get this rating real quick because I really don't got much to say about it. But I'm gonna have to give it an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I'll give it an 8 too because it's a very good cruiserweight match, but still, this is something that we could have seen on TV for free. And heck, this was a TV taping, but had this been like a typical, like I guess a typical NXT match that we would see on TV, or maybe even a Monday Night Raw, it would still be very good. It would still be very entertaining.
They actually put this match during the commercials, like from side to side commercials. Like you had the match still going on the side while you show the other commercial on the other screen, but yet they were doing a little bit of commercial free for some matches because I think they're trying to compete with AEW because they're like AEW they switch their matches to commercials while NXT is like no, we're special. We're gonna have some balls. We're gonna actually make our matches commercial free for the important matches because we want to show that we don't care about the money and we're trying to get the audience's attention. But we're not gonna do it for the cruiserweights because fuck the cruiserweights.
Okay, I see that. Okay, I get that. A couple of the matches did deserve no commercial breaks, but I see where you're trying to go with that. I get it.
So I think we can just agree that we got all that off our chest from the cruiserweight championship, right?
Push the cruiserweights.
Carry on to the third match of the night. It is Xia Li. Is this her debut by any chance, or has she been there before?
No, Xia Li was there before. The thing is, this is a debut for her new character.
Okay, because I was like thinking I've seen the name before and I've actually heard of it, but I was like thinking they made it sound like it was her first match or something.
Yeah, because we hadn't seen Zaya in I think like months really, because she got this weird letter, and then all of a sudden her and what is that other guy's name? I forgot what his name is. That she's training with this other guy. They're literally beating each other up with like kendo sticks, and Zaya's like punching boards until her knuckles bleed. It's like just some really brutal, like just something straight out of a movie. I can't really describe it, but bottom line, she's this brand new character. She's supposed to be, I guess, like this cruel, like heartless, like serious character now. I don't know, but I all I know is that the build up to it was very intriguing.
Yeah, because they did a little promotional video about her character, and then here she comes out and she faces Katrina Cortez. But this was a squash match. It really wasn't a match to be taken seriously. And I like Xia Li from what it is. I see a lot of potential from this character. She looks like she is capable, but I feel like she can be better. And even the name Xia Li, it sounds something very special. But not also just that, because my friend Danny, who, by the way, she is very into Chinese culture, while me, I'm into Japanese culture just because of anime Godzilla, but that's a whole different situation. But having the first ever Chinese wrestler in WWE, that says a lot, and hopefully Danny, for someone like that, could appreciate. And I just want to know who is this mysterious figure that they're looking at, because it looks like they're trying to not rip off Sister Abigail, but obviously Sister Abigail was horrible, but this looks like a better version of it.
I That's another thing we don't know. We literally have no idea. We've only seen her eyes and I think her mouth, but I don't know who this person's supposed to be. That's what makes it so intriguing. We don't know why they took Xia Li and this other guy. We don't know why they're forcing them to train like crazy. We don't know who this character is with like I think like long nails or whatever. we just don't know. Everything is so shrouded in mystery, but that's what makes it more intriguing.
It's probably too early to figure it out right now, but I think they're gonna give it more time and just to see build up the tension.
Yeah.
So for this rating, I don't really consider squash matches real matches because they're just there to just show off the new talent. So I don't love it, but I don't hate it. So I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 10.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right. So now we go on to this is actually my most anticipated match of the night, and this is why I love the women's division in NXT, and it is the last women's standing match: Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Gonzalez.
Woo!
This match did not disappoint as much as I was thinking Rhea Ripley was going to win because they've been building this up for months, but at the same time, Raquel Gonzalez was able to get the win. But I will admit that Raquel Gonzalez is very good. She's got all the potential, and I'm not gonna be biased in here, even though I might have an NXT crush on Rhea Ripley because she is one of the very few girls that I can pull off that type of style, and that is something that I don't really find interested in women, but Rhea does it good. But then again, hey, call me a simp, call me anything you like, but we've all had crushes in NXT and wrestling before. My last NXT crush was Kairi Sane, but that's a whole different story. But hey, that's just me.
That was everyone's last NXT crush.
Yeah, but there are just some people that just won't admit who they have crushes on. But even you have crushes on wrestlers, but we can talk about that from a whole different subject. But anyways, Bruce, what did you think about this match?
I love, love, love it, but I'm torn because I want to say this was match of the night, but I also really love the main event. So I love it, but I'm torn. I don't know which is match of the night, but needless to say, this was an amazing match. Like, seriously, it almost, to a degree, it almost felt like I was playing with action figures, or like this was something that you would see like in one of the WWE video games. Like every crazy thing that you wanted to happen happened. It just it, yeah, it's good stuff. That's it's good stuff. That's all I can say.
I mean, it was good stuff, or like in the words of Vince McMahon, this is such good shit. Which is what it is good shit because this match did not disappoint. Was it? I don't think per se it was the best match of the night. It was close. It really was. But I'll talk about that later. But this match did start off very strong. It started off very great, and this is one of the reasons why NXT doesn't disappoint when it comes to matches like these. And unfortunately, when I watch AEW and seeing their women's division fight, like what we saw between Hikaru Shida and Abaddon, man,
It's
look
so disappointing.
it made them look like amateurs.
It really did. Like seeing these two Raquel and Rhea fight, these two women made what made AEW look like an indie wrestling show inside a high school gymnasium.
I pretty much got no words. You pretty much just took it right out of my mouth.
Yep, because man, the things that these women did, and just the brawling on the outside, and Rhea, she chained up Raquel to that like steel cage or thing, and Raquel just ripped it off like she was Superman. Oh my goodness, like
Because pretty much you got the female versions of King Kong and Godzilla going after another.
oh yeah, for sure. And I think Rhea threw Raquel through like that glass door or whatever.
Oh yeah, I was like, damn, I did not expect that at all because I was like thinking, okay, she's just gonna slam into the door, but she wasn't gonna break it. But I was like, holy shit! But damn, and also I had a feeling that Dakota Kai was gonna interfere
Oh yeah.
because it's Dakota and Raquel. They're buddies. They're the bad guys. They're gonna interfere to make the baby faces look like they're defenseless, which that was no surprise. So that was kind of like points a little taken away because I kind of found that a little predictable. But it was funny when she locked her in the locker.
Hmm.
It fe- it felt like
And
the
she like did like that, man. Rhea did the moonsault off the locker. Remember that?
oh yeah because she said suck it and then she just jumped out of it. Is that what you meant?
Yeah.
Okay, either she's kissing up to Triple H or that's just her being her.
That's just her being her. Come on. No, but the thing that really got me was the ending when Raquel just like slammed Rhea through like the floor. Come on, as for those of you out there who collect wrestling action figures and you have like the wrestling breakaway playset, you cannot tell me that that is not a reference to the wrecking figures, like the slambulance and stuff that they have. Like, come on, like that is something that we do with our action figures, Sean. We slam them through things. That was just yes.
You're just making my childhood come back to life already.
Yeah, no. Well, this match made me feel like a kid. It felt like I was playing with action figures.
No doubt about that. And look, Raquel got the win, Rhea Ripley lost, but here's the other rumor that we've heard about is that Rhea Ripley is another wrestler that might be going to the main roster of WWE, which
No,
I'm like, no, no.
no,
Daniel
no,
Daniel Bryan and Kane, hell no.
no, 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 no.
I'll say it in Spanish, no.
I'll say it in Russian. Niet.
I'll say it in German, nein. But look, Rhea Ripley does not need to go to the main roster because she can. I want her to be in NXT for as long as she is until Vince McMahon is out of WWE permanently. I mean that's just the sad truth. I mean, don't get me wrong. You might love Vince McMahon, and I don't mean like in bad terms. I'm just saying like it'd be best for him if he just retires or if he just steps away from the company and let Triple H take over. That's all I'm just asking for because if Triple H gets rid of Rhea Ripley and puts her into the main roster, not Triple H, Vince McMahon is just going to tear things up again because as we know through past history, Vince has never been clear or either good at making NXT stars the best wrestlers in the main roster. I'm just saying, just keep Rhea on the main roster. It's just best for business. And plus, I know they're trying to push other new wrestlers on the female division to be strong, but I'd rather just have Rhea be on the NXT roster and just play it safe.
Yeah, yeah, that makes perfect sense.
So for this rating, what would you give it, Bruce?
9 out of 10.
9 out of 10. Hey, we're on the same page here.
Hey, we're killing it.
Okay, the next match tonight. Correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't there supposed to be a match with Tommaso Ciampa?
Yes, there was supposed to be a fight pit match, and I was really looking forward to that because the fight pit is really cool. It was supposed to be a fight pit match with Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher, but Timothy got injured. I don't know what happened. I think he suffered a shoulder injury, so they had to throw out the fight pit.
So instead of Tommaso Ciampa wrestling tonight, instead we got Kushida and Shotzi Blackheart versus the Way of Team Johnny Gargano and Candice LaRae. But look, how dare they? How dare they ruin the celebration of the Way? How dare does Shotzi come out with a tank, shoot shoot poor Austin Theory in the balls, and then, but most importantly, ruin the celebration of Johnny's curse being taken away. Because I will defend Johnny Gargano as a heel, and this is the one time where I did not want a celebration to be ruined.
Johnny lost. I support it.
But this was 50% entertaining, and this was 50% wrestling. Because the only time it ever got wrestling, like real professional wrestling, was between Marty McFly and Johnny Takeover himself, and it just brought real wrestling to it. And this is the one time
Don't you
I
mean Kushida?
no, it's Michael J. Fox. Because I mean, have you not seen the life preserver he wears?
Okay, that makes sense.
But look, this is the one time I can actually say that the men's wrestling was actually better than the women's wrestling for once.
Man, that's saying something.
I mean, what did you think about this match?
I liked it. It was entertaining. The Johnny Gargano segments, they've been hilarious. I don't care what anyone says. At people say at times it can be cringy or it can be boring. Johnny Gargano is entertaining in anything that he does. He's funny, he's entertaining. We always love Johnny. Johnny wins. Johnny wins. But yeah, just this was pretty good. It was a pretty good intergender tag team match.
Yeah, and I can't really disagree with you on that because it was entertaining, and I don't mind a little bit of entertainment as long as it's done right. And sure, people can criticize it being cringy. I think it's hilarious. And poor Austin Theory's balls because he got hit so many times. I literally wonder if he's going to be able to have kids in the future.
Yeah, and she shot him with like what is like an empty shell or something. That thing sounded like it hurt. I know it's supposed to be like scripted and choreographed, but it looked like it hurt.
I'd be scared to take it, but I hope he got paid extra money for doing something like that.
Oh, knowing them, yeah, they compensated him.
So, what would you give this rating of the match? Because personally, I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10.
I was gonna give it an 8.
Oh, okay. Wow, we actually have a little difference, but that's not that bad. It's only just a few points off.
Yeah, I still liked it. I don't mind watching it again.
And finally, on to the last match of the night, which NXT does things right because if they want to treat their titles worthy, they make the best match of the night the last one, and also they make the main NXT championship match worthy of it because it is the NXT championship between Finn Balor and Undisputed Era's Kyle O'Reilly. Bruce, I already talked about my initial thoughts about the last match. This time you get to talk about your thoughts about it.
Wow. Where do I begin? Just yes. Yes. This is a takeover worthy match. This is a match worthy of the main event. It's Kyle O'Reilly and Finn Balor. These two guys were going to knock it out of the park regardless. I mean, come on. I didn't even have to watch the show to know that that was either going to be the best match of the night or one of the best matches of the night. Either way, I knew that this match was going to be a banger and it didn't disappoint. You know, this is a brutal match, dude. Like Kyle O'Reilly was trying to break the hold with his teeth. Ugh. And then Finn Balor was trying to break his jaw. Oh man, wow. Just it.
I like how they did that role reversal in a way because in real life Finn Balor broke his jaw because of Kyle O'Reilly, and they make it seem like well now it's like hey you hurt my jaw, I'm gonna hurt your jaw now.
Yeah. And just the double stomps, the kicks, the just everything, the reversals, beat for beat, beat for beat, bell to bell. Man.
But expecting a match between these two great technical wrestlers, I was not surprised knowing what these wrestlers were capable of. It started off very slow, very like it was more grounded. It wasn't high flying. It wasn't like throwing kicks at each other as much. It was basically two wrestlers trying to get a grip on each other, hold each other down to the ground, and even a lot of real submissive technical moves. And I actually felt for Kyle's jaw because I literally thought that hurt, especially when you're holding on to a rope like that and Finn is kicking the rope. I literally thought that Kyle actually hurt his jaw.
Yeah, I really like that too. It reminded me kind of like this was almost like something you'd see like out of an old like NWA event. Like this really felt like a brutal match, and it just like how you said it built up. It's like it started off grounded and then eventually it got, it started building up and then the stakes got higher and higher and man.
And this is actually the one time I can actually say this. There was no sports entertainment in this match at all. This was completely 100% an actual sport.
Exactly. This was that's why I said it reminded me of an NWA event because they treated it almost like that. They treated this like it was a real sport.
And the fact that Finn Balor was able to get a submissive move on Kyle O'Reilly and actually make him tap out, and I was like, "Oh man, I did not expect
Yeah.
to see that submissive move." And here's just a little thing: I saw some spoilers about 90% of all these matches because of Instagram because I didn't watch it live, but at the same time, I can't help but going on Instagram, not for looking at NXT, but just looking at my own social life. Yes, I actually have a social life, people. I'm not just that lonely nerd sitting underneath someone's basement eating Dorito chips and watching SmackDown. Here comes the pain at 2 o'clock in the morning, 8 times Central. But that is just me in general.
That's a video game.
I know. Yes, they. I'm pretty sure people know it's a video game, but it was just heartbreaking to see Kyle in defeat and hearing and seeing the Undisputed Era come to him, and I could just see like the sadness and and uh, feel of defeat in Kyle O'Reilly's eyes because his eyes told the story, and I'm like, man, as much as they're not gonna push him yet because I think they're gonna still keep Kyle O'Reilly like in the back burner to see how things are gonna progress. But man, it was just sad to see Kyle looking like that because he really did deserve it.
Yeah, and I was really hoping Kyle was going to actually get the W. I was really hoping for that, but to see not only Kyle O'Reilly, not only is he just Kyle O'Reilly, he's a member of the Undisputed Era, arguably the most dominant force in NXT ever. And to see one of their own actually tap out to Finn Balor and the amount of defeat and all the things that he had worked for look like it just basically unmounted to nothing. That's heartbreaking.
It really is. And not also just that, Finn got pretty bloody as well at the end because you saw some blood on his
Mhm.
face, and that
Yeah,
wasn't.
he was bleeding from his mouth, wasn't he?
No, he was bleeding from the side of his head, and that was not
Oh,
like that wasn't like Abaddon getting a blood patch and then just putting it in her mouth and just pretending like it's blood. No, this was legit blood coming out of his face because it
yeah.
really got physical.
Yeah, Kyle O'Reilly literally busted him open hard way. That's something that we would see like way back when, like back then, especially like in wrestling, like the 70s and 80s. If you wanted to see somebody bleed, you had to legit bust them open hard way. Heck, sometimes backstage they would actually have to punch their head just to get the blood going.
Yeah, and that's just I just love the physicality between these two. And but here's the thing: this was match of the night, but there's one thing: it was not better than Kenny Omega versus Ray Phoenix.
Yeah, I was about to say. I was like, wait a minute, Sean, are you saying
No, it is not better than the main event that AEW did. And that's saying a lot because this match was really good, but it wasn't good enough. And for and because I gave Kenny Omega and Ray Phoenix a 10 out of 10, but for this match, I'm giving it a 9.5 out of 10.
I agree. Are you sure you don't want to give the rub, to this match a little bit more? You don't want to put Kenny behind and put over Balor?
No, because Kenny is just that too damn good.
Yeah, you sure, Sean? Come on, you can do it this one time.
No, Kenny is the.
Sean, Sean, Sean.
I'll say it in Spanish. No, I'll even add subtitles just to make sure people know what they're saying.
All right.
But no, it was still match of the night, but it wasn't the best match in compared to AEW. And that's me being as open as possible. But yeah, that's gonna have to do it for NXT New Year's Evil. So Bruce, I mean, this was actually pretty fun trying to get be able to do another podcast with you. And I'm not gonna be able to do podcasts all the time. Like I know I've been posting like this is gonna be the second one that I've done, and also we're gonna have to do the third one, which is New Year's Smash. But I just know that hopefully this is not something we could do all the time because I also want to do movie reviews, anime reviews, and video games. Because I don't get me wrong, I love doing this and having these small talks with you, and it's something I really appreciate.
Yeah, same. Like I said, I want to get to work on Superman Man of Tomorrow pretty soon. And also, maybe I could talk about comics sometime soon. I don't know, but I do want to, I still, like I said, you want to do your own thing. I also want to do my own thing. And there are some tips and tricks that I know you can teach me. So, yeah.
And for that, because it is your first YouTube video for a movie review, I'm actually gonna put your YouTube movie. I'm actually gonna put your movie review in the link in my description, just to help
Hey.
promote your video.
Oh, why'd you got to do that?
I'm here to help you out, bro.
Thank you. Okay. Well, when Man of Tomorrow comes up, you better link me this one.
Yes,
I got to put this on my YouTube.
yes, I will. I will.
Yes, I will.
This is the way. And as for that, that's gonna be the conclusion, guys. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, subscribe here to the content for more.
Subscribe, 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 subscribe.
And he just had to cut me off, but you pretty much get the idea, guys. And for that, well, we'll see you in the next podcast.
Bye, guys. Love you.
I love him more.
I love them more.
I'll buy them roses and chocolate.
I buy them Chick-fil-A.
I'll buy them a car. Actually, no, I'm a cheap bastard.
No, chill.
No, I'm just kidding. I won't buy anyone a car. I can't even afford my own car bill.
Ouch.